I'm joined in the studio now by Christine Tiscareno, an analyst from Standard & Poor's. Christine, good morning. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. So this report is going to have long-term legal implications for the company, and it's going to have an impact on regulation. We're already seeing signs of that with certain countries moving or considering curbs on deep water drilling. But what about the industry at large? What can we expect? How will it change as a result?
Well, I think the report that will have a big major impact will be the report that will come out of the United States when they finish doing the official investigation. You will see also reports come out of Transocean and the other companies involved, in which they are obviously going to try to protect their interests. And the truth is that there were a lot of companies involved. These are very complicated procedures, and everybody was to a certain degree at fault. It's the nature of the industry, risk is high, and yes, the regulations are going to be much tighter going forward. This will increase costs. Sorry?
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I mean, does that mean that oil companies will have to be better prepared? For example, they'll have to make sure that they have specialist equipment, the resources they might need to deal with an emergency on a scale like this?
Well, there was a fund that's being set up by all the major companies to sort of deal with eventualities like this. And we have seen the change. For example, there's Current Energy, which is drilling in offshore Greenland, which is a very sensitive zone. Now, in order to avoid the harshness from the Greenpeace movements, they are going overboard in terms of the requirements, even before regulations have come forward. So yes, costs will go up. And what that will translate into, and according to what's happening in the world right now, is not just higher gasoline prices, but the price of food would also go up. So this could possibly just affect the economy in terms of, inflation going up and everything sort of slowing down. So it will have wider implications in the long term, but that would all depend on what kind of regulations are imposed. You're going to have a lobbying between the oil industry and the government, and they will have to balance out, wishful thinking with reality and the reality of cost.
And how difficult is it going to be to strike that balance?
Well, with politics, you never know what can happen. So basically, the window is open.
And part of the reason, of course, that this regulation wasn't brought in earlier was because of the power, the influence of those lobby groups.
Well, I think that also the industry has done a very good job. I mean, if you consider what they are doing, it really is amazing. It's Star Trek material. And yet there have never been any incidents. In the Gulf of Mexico, this is the first really serious incident in deep offshore. Now, what's happening is that when you're going into new frontiers, you don't have a formula to follow. The environment is new all the time, so you have new challenges. What this will have is, if you have higher gasoline prices, it will push forward the natural gas industry. America has discovered a lot of unconventional gas, the shale gas. And before companies pushed for oil, but now that they can't replace oil, they're going to start pushing for natural gas. You saw Exxon buying a big company that specializes in unconventional natural gas. So you're going to see power companies switching to natural gas. So all these problems indirectly might force companies and governments to take a look at their natural gas and push it forward, which is even cleaner. So for the environment, it will be more positive.
Christine Tiscareno, thank you so much. Good to get your take on this story.
Thank you.